Hello, friends, and welcome to another issue of Pornographic. I'm Brian Mann.
Brian Mitchell.
Eric Mitchell.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing well.
Awesome. So, this is going to be our 2-year anniversary episode. So,
Seems kind of crazy, doesn't it? We started off with Eric going, "Hey, dude, we should do a podcast."
yeah.
And going from your laptop with just a crappy webcam mic and
Yeah, we didn't even do the video for the webcam. We just recorded the audio on it, which, looking back now, seems a little weird that we didn't start recording from the beginning, but say lovey.
I don't know, baby steps.
But, yeah, I think with the mics and all the stuff that we have now and it's crazy.
Yeah, and just thinking we were so worried about, would we have enough content, and can we talk about this for an hour? Do you have enough? And then we have the 4-hour sessions where we really got rolling, and
yeah. And then we did the deep dive for the Watchmen, and it was 3.5 hours or some stuff
Over one book, and we probably just barely scratched
it
the
was
surface
12
of it.
issues.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a little bit. It's a lot still, but
yeah.
And that movie. And the TV show that's coming out this month.
Yeah, I don't
Not sure
know.
about that.
Have you guys seen the trailers for it?
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
No.
It really depends on what they're... Because,
So
Like
here's
the-
my complaint, man. Just stick to the source material. The DC has this fetish recently of rewriting their own material that's been successful. Like, I don't need a prequel into Batman the Killing Joke where Batgirl's humping Batman.
Yeah.
I don't need Hush where you know what? You're right. Every time somebody new shows up in Batman's life, they're the villain. Let's change it. I don't need that.
Right.
There's a reason this was super popular. Stick to it. If you stick to it and you do a faithful retelling, there should be no problem.
I think the problem that people will have is like if you just do a shot for shot of Watchmen, it's like, why did you even bother when I can just go read the comic book?
Which is usually my contention.
So I kind of understand why they're trying to do like a day in the life of the world of the Watchmen kind of thing, where it's like,
I guess if you add to it, but don't subtract away the
I don't
source
think
material.
so. I think the way that they're trying to go is like, what if you were living during the time of the Minutemen? It'd be kind of like, what if you lived in the time of Gotham when Batman was going around his rogues gallery? We're maybe not going to focus directly on the characters, but we're going to be character adjacent. So I think that's kind of what they're going to. It's more of the world of Watchmen than the actual story of Watchmen.
Okay, now that could be interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going with. It's just some of the stuff that I've seen, it's like a gang of people wearing Rorschach masks.
Oh no. Count me out. Just right there. Just count me out. Was Snyder involved?
No.
Either one?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, Eric and I were talking the other day about The Boys.
Oh yeah.
So the comic pretty well turned you off pretty quickly into it.
Yeah.
But the show...
Oh, it's so well done. It's hard not to enjoy it.
Which is really funny because I think it's brutally graphic in some areas.
And it is. And
like
there was just something about, I don't know whether it
spoilers.
was...
3, 2, 1. Go ahead. I just wanted to say because we're going to talk about it if people haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. I don't know. There was just something about the comic that it just didn't do anything.
Didn't
for
resonate.
Me. And there's a scene at the beginning of the comic that's not in the show at all, and I think that kind of set the tone for me that I just didn't really enjoy that.
Rapey?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that's probably why they left it out.
Yeah. So
Me too?
No, just yeah. Well, I mean, there's kind of a. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not.
it's not. No, it's just.
All right.
Dude, the thing with the deep felt a little rapey.
Okay, well, no, that was physically disturbing to me. Like, I had a physical reaction to watching that.
Just because you saw his ass, or
No. When she's sticking the fucking hands in his gills, like, dude, I'm
no, he hasn't
freaking out.
He hadn't been there. Yet.
I've
you got
gotten
there. Okay,
Yeah, I've got there.
Sorry.
I was talking about at the beginning where the Deeps just like drops his.
Oh, it's like
his wetsuit.
It's like blow me.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I figured that's kind of like we're not going to go full rape. I'm going to put you in a situation where
you have the choice. You can either get
The
kicked out of the
choice.
gang. Yeah,
yeah. But
so he's basically an aquatic Harvey Weinstein.
Wow. An aquatic Harvey Weinstein.
Write that down
Brings
for
a
the title.
whole new meaning to a backstroke.
Oh wow!
But you haven't finished it yet?
I'm in episode 8. I was
Nice.
watching some of that this morning, and I
Nice.
just haven't. I've got probably 20 minutes to go.
One of the things that really surprises me is how versatile of an actor Carl Urban is.
Yeah, I
It's
really
like,
dig him.
That dude was in like Riddick.
Bones and
Yeah.
Star Trek,
He played
and then we're stymied after
no,
2.
no,
He's
no,
super
no, no,
versatile.
no. Thor Ragnarok. He played.
Oh yeah, he was a douche in that.
Yeah.
But
And then of course, then he was also Lord of the Rings, but I can't remember his character's name. He was one of the horse riders of Rohan, Aeromir or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, he's got like long ass fucking gold dreads and.
I have to go back and check that out just
I think
to see
he's
him.
in the
That's
two
cool.
towers. He rides in with Gandalf at the Battle of Helm's Deep on the 3rd day. Or what? Okay, I know way too much about that shit.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to nerd out, that's,
but he's
that's
a,
good
he's
material.
he's like one of the horse lords or whatever of Rohan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
super versatile actor. And he was Judge Dredd.
Actually, a decent one, too.
So, yeah, he's been around
Yeah.
a little bit. So, but anyway, because we were talking about 2-year anniversary, and we thought there was no better way
Bum, bum, bum.
than to pop out the Boulevard 30th anniversary barrel-aged blend. So we're gonna pop this open, and we're gonna sip on it and get into some comics.
Hopefully not put our eye out with that cork as it explodes.
Well, I mean, we've already had aquatic Harvey Weinstein, so things exploding, I don't know if it could get much worse.
Well, I mean, you're going to drink this. And anyway.
Well,
So,
woo! There we go. We got it.
so Powers of X? Is that what we're starting?
Fudge. Holy.
Oh, wow. That looks dark.
And sinful.
As dark as my soul.
That's probably going to be bad. Hopefully not. There's a pint of this, by the way, folks. Put the sand up. There you go. You can pour your own. Give me more. Fill it. So, first
We're in
book.
Brian's basement, in case anybody was wondering. So,
Sorry, this is the
he
pod
will-
cave, sir. The pod
That
cave.
is-
Yes, the
true.
pod cave.
Yes.
Okay. We don't have towels for a spill. We don't have. You're just
You know that's just
pushing the line right up to it. Okay, anyway, Powers of 10-5. Garbage. I'm kidding.
No. Man, I had some thoughts on this book. Now, first off, I mean, we've come off some really action-packed issues, and the last two, or one before this and this one,
So House of X 5 and Powers of 10-5.
I'm still going to call it
Whatever,
Powers
dude.
X, whatever. Goza. Oh, is it delightful?
It's a lot.
Okay. It's a lot.
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Not really super action-packed, but kind of thought-provoking because I don't know how I feel about Cerebro copying every mutant mind and thought and storing it. I mean, if that's the path to freedom, is it also not the path to fascism?
Yeah, I think the thing that I have the most problem with is how they think that their little government system is going to work.
Well, hang on. Then you're putting this power, this level of power into the hands of somebody who has basically mind wiped himself twice. Feels super Big Brother to me. I mean, would you want somebody knowing every thought, every intimate desire, every fiber of your being, and have it be recorded secretly?
It would depend on what end. If living eternally is the gain, maybe.
I don't know,
If
man.
eternal life is the gain for no privacy, which we're going to work towards anyway.
Yeah, but I feel like that doesn't work out real good for them. Spoilers.
Something's still off with Professor X. There's something.
Yeah.
I mean, more than just things going poorly for mutants.
It's a lot.
There's something there.
Everybody needs a bottle of this.
It's a lot.
It's really, 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 really good.
It's a lot, though.
It's a lot, yeah.
I
100% agree with you. I've suspected now for several books that Professor X, and I don't think it's going to be just I'm going to go be a villain to be a villain. I think he finds this is the only path with which he can save the mutants. And I still think maybe it's him going to become Nimrod.
Oh.
I really think that's a thing, because in a couple issues back, it was to be Nimrod, it had to the nanos had to get in a human host, and
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that is definitely a possibility. Huh.
Interesting.
I hadn't thought of that.
I don't like their government setup, though.
we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
That's coming in house.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they
Well,
talk
they
about
kind
it
of
in
set it
Powers.
up.
Okay.
They
All right.
well, but they don't really reveal everyone.
Well, I
They
know.
tell you, here's the quiet council.
I know,
Krakoa,
but
and-
my problem is like you're changing this every 3 months to where different people are in power. I mean,
So 3 months seems like too quick,
yeah,
but it's certainly better than putting somebody, in the Senate for life.
yeah. I mean, I understand that, but I mean, I feel like you've flown to the other side of the spectrum.
Okay, and I don't
So I
disagree.
don't
I
know-
think maybe a happy medium in between.
Yeah, like a year. Like every year, it changes hands.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can get a lot done in a year. I don't know that you can get anything.
So what
done.
he's talking about is there's a council of 12.
Yeah, it's like the
and-
Knights of the Round Table, kind
and
of.
Or the Quorum of
There's
12.
3
Oh
mutants.
God, Dan! Did you hear they're remaking that shit again?
Again?
They're remaking Battlestar Galactica again. And
You know what? I didn't think I needed it after the first one.
Yeah, the problem is like I don't think it's going to be any of the people from the 2004 one coming back to do like. I don't know how you don't get Edward James Olmos to come back
Katie
and do.
Sackhoff. And,
Yeah, but just Admiral
Jamie
Adama,
Bamber. Yeah. Sorry, we keep stepping on Eric.
though. So the Quorum of 12.
Right. 3
Yeah.
in each of the
Yeah.
seasons, kind of thing.
Yeah. I just don't know how I feel about it. It feels like you're not going to get anything done. All you got to do is sit around the table and complain.
I don't know. I think they'll get stuff done. Spoiler.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. The other big thing that stuck out in this book is we keep jumping through different timelines.
Yeah.
And we get to like the furthest timeline, and the mutants have they're trying to ascend, and they're trying to reach out to other higher alien civilizations. It didn't exactly work out the way they'd hoped, I don't believe. Because I feel like, again, pop culture reference, I feel like the Borg is just assimilating them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think that it surely, yeah, it's not working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But
I liked the page with Namor as
Oh,
well,
yeah.
since he's a mutant but he's not taking part in the whole
he's
Krakoa
like-
thing, and I mean he was just straight up like
He was just a straight up dick.
oh yeah, it was like did you think that I just realized that I'm better than all of you? I mean, so do I look like that guy? Like damn, okay,
yeah, he's
good
pretty
enough.
savage.
You enjoy
Yeah.
your fish, and we'll
Yeah.
go.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Say hello to Free Willy for me.
Yeah. Fish are friends, not food.
Can you find Nemo real quick? Yeah.
All right, so
House.
House.
Yeah, House of X6.
Yeah, I got to put mine up because I love
Yeah,
me some
oh yeah,
Nightcrawler,
definitely.
man.
So as we get into this one, I just want to kind of talk about. I mean, not only has this series been pretty good. I mean, I think we're all enjoying it.
Very much.
I think you can't discount the fact that this has happened in 12 weeks' time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have put out 12 high-quality comics in 12 weeks. Not 12 months, not a year. I mean, this
Not
has
3
been...
years.
Not pushed back. Doomsday Clock.
I mean...
Yeah, not bad.
That's pretty impressive to be able to stay on that schedule. And deliver a pretty darn good comic.
And I think that really leads into why we like it so much, because you're not having to remember what happened, because there's a lot of stuff going on in these books.
A lot.
And I think this should be like the industry standard. I mean, it's not like people are just whipping these books out monthly and sending it off to press. I feel like these are already chambered and ready to go. I
think this one specifically, yes.
And if it's not that way, it needs to be this way, because that's the way to go.
But I think if you're looking at like Tom King for Batman, I don't think he has 85 written when 65 is coming out. Now he's probably got maybe 5 to 10 ahead, but there's no way he's got all that written out.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, you don't have your 85 or 100 story arc.
But if you have a set number of issues and a set number of books, you either have most of them written or all of them written, I would think.
And I think that gets away from the, hey, Secret Empires is going pretty good, so how about we just jam a couple of filler issues in and make you buy those too? So I agree. The 12 issues in 12 weeks, great plan.
Yeah. And one of the things I really liked about this is there's not ancillary books. Like, there's not Powers of X Nightcrawler edition or whatever.
It's not like with Absolute Carnage and the Miles Morales and the...
which you've been disappointed with.
Yeah, the second one was better.
Oh, yeah.
Probably still not really worthy of reviewing here on the podcast,
Right.
but better than the first one that was just a complete recap of what happened in the main Absolute Carnage. So
Yeah, which seems like an odd choice, but...
So I talked about with the last book that the last two have felt more like in a movie where the action's going hot and heavy, and you switch to flashback mode and you kind of break that up. This is not that book.
No, this is pretty much one long take.
Yeah. I thought Magneto's speech to Xavier was outstanding. I really, really liked that.
I liked the overall message that was given by Xavier to humanity.
Yeah, because when it started out, it was...
I thought it was going to go in a different direction.
Hey, it's a gift. Now it's like, here's the deal. We're going to sell you this for our sovereignty.
Well,
because I had a dream, and that dream went away.
Well, and I think that's one of the key things that I think that... Because you guys are all talking about, like, he's a bad person, he's a bad...
Who's a bad person?
Charles.
No, I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's about to do a bad thing for good reasons.
Well, I think he's basically already... I think this is a fundamental change in the way he does things. Because, like, before, I feel like he was trying to defend humanity and the mutants. Now he really doesn't care about humanity and only cares about mutants, which I believe it was Magneto's point the entire time.
Right.
And then, spoilers everywhere, but like when they're standing on like Pride Rock there at the end, that's what I'm calling it, Pride Rock. It's a Lion King thing, but anyway.
Not Kitty Pride?
No, no, Pride Rock. I think that's a friendship in a partnership realized. Is you've kind of come to me, I've kind of come to you, and now we've found this middle ground where we can do some real good for mutant kind or whatever. And
he's not anti-human.
No,
because they still, as they're creating their laws, they're saying, the first law is, no mutant kills a human. It's just they're just kind of absolving themselves from humanity.
Yeah,
leave us alone.
We'll leave
we're
you
here,
alone.
and we're good now. There is no more dream of us somehow coexisting.
Right. When I think that before, that was always his dream was, I want to find a world where we can coexist, cohabit. Now he's like,
And we've saved you multiple times, and
From
all
what- And
you
you still
do is
from
kill us.
world-ending destruction, and it's like, now he's kind of like, listen, you're over there, we're over here, you leave us alone, we'll leave you alone.
So as I cracked this open, my first thoughts, which pretty quickly were changed, is, man, I'm not sure this is going to work. This whole mutant sovereignty thing, because you're all a bunch of softies, and, mutant justice, what's that going to look like? I'm going to send you to bed without your dinner.
We find out what mutant justice is.
But before we get there, I have to address the Mr. Sinister in the corner.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude, I don't know when he turned into comic relief,
I don't know either, but
I
but
like
it's
it.
fantastic.
keep it up, because the gay sassiness, give me more of that, because it's hilarious.
Could you imagine a movie where he's played like that?
I don't know that it plays as good on the screen
It needs
unless
but
it's like Ryan Reynolds doing it.
but it needs to be in Deadpool.
okay.
That's the main villain of like
Oh,
Deadpool
my God.
3. That
Yes.
because then they're just able to go back and forth, and
You need
Like
somebody.
a Will Ferrell?
Well, no, I was thinking more like somebody who you would normally take seriously, but then they just,
and
come,
just
Yes.
Yeah.
and then they just come out, and then they're
Well,
just
like a Mark Wahlberg. When you put him next to Will Ferrell,
oh, and the other guys?
yeah, you don't expect him to be funny, and he's pretty damn funny.
But yeah, somebody who's like an upstanding thespian, and then you put them in there, and they're just cracking wise jokes and super flamboyant about everything. I think it'd be hilarious.
Because the nobody puts Sinister in the corner
Yeah.
line, I had to laugh out loud.
Which is good.
But I mean, back to the mutant justice.
Yeah.
So
set it up. It's
we got Sabretooth,
Yeah. Who's always been up,
a-hole.
pretty much.
Yeah. And I mean, throughout this book, he's been an a-hole. I mean, back in issue one, it's him who screws up and starts killing people, and the Fantastic Four step in, and then Scott, Cyclops pops out, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna take this dude, and we'll deal with him ourselves." And the Fantastic Four's like, "No, you won't."
And then later on, we see Emma as he's in court, and Emma shows up and ends up taking Sabretooth with her.
So he's brought in front of the council, and he's unrepentant. I mean, he is just full Sabretooth. I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna kill your children and kill your children's children, and they all just vote like, "Yeah, you're screwed, buddy."
Which, to be fair, it's like you've gotten to this point. What makes you think that doubling or quadrupling down on the "I'm going to kill you and your family" thing is going to work?
Well, and that's kind of what I'd written down before I saw how the mutant justice thing was going to go, because I'm like, there's a percentage of humanity that are just incorrigible. I mean, you can't fix them. They just either need to be put to death or put in jail forever, because
Yeah.
you're a serial killer. Or you just
You're a psychopath. Yeah.
You can't be fixed. You just need to be separated from society. And
Something happened.
And I didn't think that they would have the stones to address that. And
I think that how they addressed it,
it checked both boxes.
yeah.
You take him out of circulation, but you don't kill him, and you don't
Because you can't break your own laws to do your own mutant justice. So, like, if you would have just smoked him, then how are you any better than the humans?
Yeah, except that the humans didn't kill him. It would have been the mutants.
But the humans would have killed him if they could have killed him.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
I was just going along with this. Like, Sabretooth has never really been one of my favorite characters.
I just liked him up against Wolverine.
Yeah,
it was a good
and that
fight.
works. But I feel like his costume has always seemed a little bit off. The way he is drawn in this,
Yes.
like, he looks badass.
He looks
like,
feral.
Like, even
Kind
though
of looks like Craven a little bit. Like,
even though he's sitting there amongst 12, of the most powerful mutants, like, you're really, until Emma and Jean step in, you're like, he's gonna kill somebody. Like, he's gonna pop
gonna
up.
try, Yeah.
Just so well drawn. I mean, it all is, but
Yeah,
for
very
some
much
reason,
so.
to me, just Sabretooth just
Well,
popped.
and one of the things that I really liked about this issue was there was a lot of 9-panel sections.
No, just flip it 2 more, because that look on Mystique's face, right there. I mean, that's so good too. Like she's setting him up for a.
Yeah.
So, so what happens is they basically exile
Yeah.
Sabretooth to suspended animation or
Pretty
stasis
much.
in the middle of Krakoa Island. I mean, just like sucked right on down.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the folks that the peace loving people that I would have thought, been like, no, we should give him a second chance, because they toss it out to Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah, well, but Sinister has another great line before that too. Though he says, "I have to say, it's the drool that really brings the whole outfit together. This is fun. What's next? Somebody shock me. I mean, come on, it's so good."
Yeah.
But yes, so Mystique tries to set Nightcrawler up, and here's our holier than thou mutant. What does your god say about this? And
Yeah.
basically, Nightcrawler just says, "We need to make more mutants." All right.
Hashtag horny Nightcrawler.
Rule number 3, new law number 3. Get it on.
So this book continues to tick boxes for me. The Wolverine with the 6-pack at the end when they're celebrating. Jean giving Emma a beer.
Yeah.
I mean, because they shouldn't be real tight.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, seeing Havoc and Cyclops again together, it really mixes the nostalgia with the new concepts very, very well.
And I don't think, and I don't know every X-Men comic or anything, but I don't feel like you've ever seen celebration pages like this in an X-Men comic.
No.
Like they will occasionally, like in annuals or when they restart it, like you'll see them like playing a baseball game. That's kind of the X-Men thing, is like the way they show them relaxing is playing a game of baseball together. But that's as relaxed, I feel like, as you've ever seen the X-Men before this. This was just full-on celebration mode, and everyone is, it was pretty cool to see.
I mean, the only thing it was missing was some Ewoks going wub wub.
It felt like that, yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Anakin and Obi-Wan over there in the corner, just giving a little
Just chilling.
nod to Luke, and
As ghosts.
So I couldn't be any more excited about this book.
And only
Now
one
my
more to
decision
go.
is, because it can't go great, right?
Oh, powers of 10.
It can't go great, because you go from
The
a
last-
celebration book.
Oh, yeah.
It can't go into another celebration book. Some bad shit's gonna happen.
I mean, the cover of 6 is Moira standing over everyone's dead bodies. So, yeah, it's got
Maybe
I
what
mean,
it is
that
is
could just be a trick.
maybe
but,
the
I mean,
11th life is the birth of all the new books.
Or maybe Krakoa is actually mutant heaven and they're all dead.
I feel like I'd be pissed at that.
Yeah,
100%. Now my biggest decision is, which one of these books am I going to pick up next, or all of them?
I mean, there's a couple that I'm weary about.
Yeah.
But
With the Hickman writing the main X-Men
Yeah.
book, I think you're definitely safe on that one at least.
Eric, did you ever foresee a time where all of us
No.
would be reading X-Men?
No, it's very, very weird to be sitting here discussing X-Men, because for nearly 2 years,
Because dude, we got Batman and Daredevil coming up.
Well, but to his point, for nearly 2 years, he's like, all right, I got this X book, and this
Yes.
X book, and this X book,
Yes.
and this X book, and we're like,
Batman.
and now instead of leading with Batman as we always have,
Yeah.
these are the books, I'm sorry, that are just better at this point.
yeah.
But we'll get into a Batman.
Kind of. Not Tom King Batman, but Sean Gordon Murphy Batman.
Which should be good.
Should be. Okay, well, stuff happens. A lot of stuff happens. More stuff than that's happened in the first two books happens.
Yes.
I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it or just...
Okay. No secret identity anymore? We'll just throw that one out
it's-
there.
No,
yeah,
of course not.
Everybody knows it now.
So...
Utility belt accessories?
I don't think a birthing table is in one of those.
Oh, no,
Maybe
I
that's-
wasn't going there.
Okay.
The Joker, I don't suppose your utility belt has a coat hanger in it. I was like,
Yeah, I could not believe he
Wow.
was there.
Yeah, that was...
That was a little far.
But, I mean, he's the Joker, so...
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that wasn't my biggest problem with the book.
See,
In fact, I don't even know I had a problem with that. I thought it was kind of...
You
dark
had a big
humor.
problem with the Batman and Harley stuff, and I loved their exchanges
it was funny.
in this book. Like when she's telling him, come on, you know you like me, and he's like, I'd like you to get your head examined. Like that's some pretty good stuff. And then he just shows up as she's putting the crib together, and like one panel later, he has the crib completely put together. It was.
I had many problems with this book.
Really?
And I'm hoping this is like the other one that I had problems in the middle of it and got over it and it was good. Hardly pregnant with twins, and one is Joker and one's Napier's.
I mean, they're the same person.
But when she's alluding to the fact that they're going to pop out and one's going to be crazy and one's going to be sane.
I just like the fact that when they were X-rayed, like if you look really closely, you can see two little babies in her stomach. It's like there's like two little skeletons in there. I thought that was hilarious.
I don't think
I don't think
noticed
they
that.
X-ray him. I think it's an ultrasound.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like an X-ray to me, but
I don't. Yeah, it was that when he had the the X-ray
Oh,
on when
okay.
they were down in the tunnels or
I'm
whatever.
trying to forget this book.
oh,
I'm really not.
right
see
there.
the two little babies. Yeah. I didn't understand why he had a problem with the first one, and I don't understand why you have a problem with this one. And I may never, but
Yeah.
it's not as good as the first one. But
That's probably my problem with it.
but sequels rarely are better than the first one. Aliens is about the only thing I can come up with right off the bat.
That's a good one. It's
You
a
know.
good choice.
So, I mean,
I just don't feel invested in the story.
what made you invest in the first one?
The fact that, okay, Joker's sane, Batman's kind of the bad guy. This is Batman's ancestor might be a bad dude. This Batman's trying to be chill and I don't know.
I think the main thing here is like a good guy is doing bad things, which is Azrael. Because he's
cool. Because spoiler, 1, 2, 3. Smokes Gordon.
yeah.
And then other Azraels, because that's a thing, roll around with AR-15s and Bullock gets shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a Joker.
It's like gang.
Joker gang, the Azrael gang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's other Azraels out there. But
I don't think there is either, but there shouldn't need to be. He's that powerful.
right.
Yeah, Harley hits on Batman, and then he becomes her OBGYN, because that's a bat thing.
Yeah, that's why I was like...
Yeah,
in-
the
in-
gynecology table.
Yeah, maybe it's in the trunk of the Batmobile,
Could be.
you know, as a changing table back there. Who knows? You know, it's just all equipped for everything. You know, who knows?
He's got a diaper shooter that just...
Oh fuck, that'd be hilarious. Just shoot a baby. Just shoot a baby, and it just diaper. That'd be hilarious. But you're on
I'm
board.
still- oh,
and-
yeah,
and
I
you're
still-
you're gonna buy them, but you're not on board,
Not in the least.
huh?
Yeah,
So
and
weird.
I'm liking this way more than I did
Yeah.
the first one. And you know, it was just one thing with the first one that I didn't like, but
It wasn't the bad dick.
Yeah.
That was
No,
that was the
no.
damned.
That was the damned. Well, I mean, when you name him Laffy Arkham,
Yeah.
it's a little too on the nose to me, but
yeah,
Haha.
there's definitely some things in here that, because even in issue number 1, because Joker just happens to find the relic from his ancestor at the same time that Batman finds the relic from his ancestor, or the journal, or whatever it was, and
the Bat Whip. Don't forget about the Bat Whip.
Yeah. And Batgirl's like,
You're
wow,
mocking
that's a
this
little
as
bit
though
of a coincidence.
Well, the thing is, I don't care that's not, to me, that's not going to be the integral part of the story. Is the stupid Bat Whip? Like I feel like
it may be.
Well, if it is, then I'll be disappointed. But I don't think that's where it's going to go. I think that's just flavor text for something else.
Did he find the Bat Fedora and the Bat Golden Idol? Yeah, throw me the idol, I'll throw you the whip. I mean,
do we have a Nazi plane that he can get his head chopped off with? Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. White Trees number 2.
A complete White Tree story.
In 2 issues. So when you guys picked this up right off the bat, and
Because
again,
it was Zdarsky.
awesome. It's maybe one of us will get bit. It might be radioactive.
Could be.
Could
and
be.
then we could turn into Spider-Man.
Sweet.
That is a bad choice, Spider. You will get smoked at some
Only
point.
one of us said sweet to that, becoming Spider-Man. I think you should get bit by it.
Okay.
So I won't sleep on a Zdarsky book ever again.
Okay.
Although I wasn't a huge fan of Superman or Spider-Man
Life story.
Life story. Sorry. Oh, wow. Hey. Hello, friends. Think. Good choice.
There we go.
But what seemed to be, I mean, it's good pod. It's good pod.
That's how you know it's real, folks.
So the first thing out of you guys' mouth, and when I went and found this comic, the first thing out of the comic book owner's mouth was all about
the
Demon
Demon
Pepe.
Dick. Yeah, the
Demon Pepe.
Demon Dick, yeah.
Yes. To me, book 1 was such a cool world. Why only 2 issues?
Well, I think we know now.
2 issues worked. I don't know how Zdarsky packed a 12-issue series into 2 issues. It didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel like the characters were not developed. I want to read more from this universe.
I think one of the things that he used contextual things in the world that allowed you to know that these people there's breadth to their story. It's not just, they're not one-dimensional or two-dimensional character. There's multi-layered depths to these characters that he doesn't necessarily need to explain. He's letting you know that, like, these people are war-torn heroes, and then they're older, and then there's things that happen to them, and then
He's reluctant to fight.
yeah, and then so you're like, okay, so maybe he has a past where he did some shit that was like, so like without going out into these
and telling you everything
Yes.
that happened.
Yeah.
There's a reason. Just
Yeah.
know there's a reason, and that's why.
and he makes it to where that reason doesn't matter, and you can just accept the fact that this character is who he is. You don't really need anything else.
And we didn't need a.
That being said, I would totally read
For
a
sure.
6-issue series
yes.
about the 3 warriors when
Yes.
they were younger and all
Right.
the
But
badass things.
But I
that
think
they,
the biggest point is for this to work, you didn't need any of that.
You didn't need to
backstory.
go dig clues out that the
No.
king was behind it.
No.
They just knew. Due to their experience, and they're like, okay,
Or
they're not here.
bloodlust.
He's fucking with us. Let's go kill him.
Well, only one of them kind of wants him. But they all want him dead, but only one of them really wants him dead, which for good reason. Because he's fucking with your kid, and there are some people who lift cars or
Yeah.
decide to go on murderous rampages.
Okay, so quickly, show of hands. Did he die? And the rest of the book is he's in heaven, or did he live?
Oh, I think it's just. I think it is exactly what it says it is. I think he's just a dream. He fucking died in the dream for sure, but I think it's just a dream. I don't think that.
Okay, so
that's awesome. So 3 completely
I think
different
he's in
opinions.
heaven. You think it's a dream, and
I thought he survived.
He survived it.
That's
yeah,
fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude, I legitimately thought, guys, I was kind of pissed because I was like, really, the dude was just sleeping on the porch. But
And I could see a case for any of those 3 things of happening.
Yeah, because
and it doesn't make the story.
It was a dream at all.
Yeah.
That never even crossed my mind at all.
And it didn't. It
Interesting.
wouldn't make the story bad for me if it was
Yeah.
a dream, if he actually died, or if he lived. Any of those 3 things are still awesome. But it's so cool that we all had different interpretations.
see, the reason why I thought it was a dream is because like I was gonna get mad because I was like, how are you tying? Oh, he was just sleeping on the porch, and he's just like, all right, he's just because like okay, if you think about it, like if you're a warrior and you have like PTSD and shit, and like you hear some sounds, like it immediately brings it back to you.
It triggers.
So like
You're triggered.
I don't know that like the same can be said like you're just dreaming about it. Like he's you know.
So I could totally see where
Yeah.
you're like, all right, I'm in heaven. I'm here with my kid, and I could totally see where like he's ridden with a knife wound and a pincushion of arrows, and he's such a badass that he just recovers and he's chilling on his porch and hey, saved my kid. Here we go. It's still a great story.
Yeah.
Still a great story.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
For what 66 pages or whatever it was. You know,
Yeah,
that's
super
pretty
impressive.
and I really hope that it continues.
Oh yeah, come back to this world for sure.
Yeah.
Even if it's different characters, this same world, and you can do that same thing. Good stuff.
But I'm kind of with you, Eric. I would like to see like a chronicle where it was like the war before, when they're younger characters instead of older characters.
Yeah, because now you already kind of know
Where they're going to end up and see how they
Instead
get
of having instead of having old man Logan, can we see young man Logan?
there. Good stuff. Okay.
All right, we're gonna move on to Batman 80.
Fucking Kite Man!
full page.
Oh my god,
Kite Man.
dude! Kite Man!
So with 6 issues left, 80 through 85, Tom King decides that he's going to write his best Batman book in 60 issues.
Question.
Yeah.
Gotham Girl. Am I going to die like Hank?
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne. No, but for what he's done to you, he will. Is he referring to Batman? Is he referring to Bane?
I wrote down the exact same thing.
I still don't know where his alliance is, and that's fucking awesome.
I really hope it's Batman.
You hope he's gonna take it out on Batman.
Because dude, I want first off,
I feel like it can't further on in the book, but go ahead.
First off, I am shocked at how good the John Romita Jr. art is.
Agreed,
Yeah,
because
I
he
didn't take away
usually
from it at all.
Because
very hit or miss for me.
the rain, that's what I think. I think he does rain super fucking well, and the rain sequences towards the end were amazing. Anyway, I think it's Batman because I don't know. Like,
All Batman's done is try to help her.
yeah,
Bane's exploited her powers.
but Batman's what started her in the first place. Had to
No.
make her goth. Well,
No, she saved Batman. Batman couldn't he couldn't save the plane, and Power Girl and Gotham dude show up and save the plane, and he's like, "Huh, maybe I should make them my next protege."
it could be either Batman because he gave her hope, or it could be Bane because he gave her purpose.
Okay, that's better than the other argument.
You know, I don't know, but it feels like to me like he would be more pissed that you gave her hope.
But I feel like she could have hope. She just needs to quit using her powers, and she can live a long, full life.
So that's like, stop being who you are, and you continue to live. Well, I don't want to stop being who I am.
But who she is who she created herself to be.
Still,
Okay, so I've become a somebody who uses steroids in professional sports, and that's the only way I can do it. I know it's killing me, but I can't play this sport. Or I could just go chill and have a normal life. I don't feel like that's worth punishing. I'm going to give you hope. I'm going to tell you, get off the steroids, and just go get a regular job, be a regular Joe. Sorry, you're not going to be a superstar, but you get to live. Versus
some people don't want that though. Some people want to
Yeah.
be a star. Some people want to have the power, regardless.
but that's
of,
not Batman's fault.
right. But it could,
Versus Bane, who we're going down a rabbit hole.
no, it's
Yeah,
that's what we do here.
yeah, I
But
know.
I guess my problem is like I don't know how Bane giving her purpose, pointing her in a direction, is worse than giving her the hope
I
that
don't
she can
think he
be.
gave her purpose and gave her direction. She's under the control of Psycho Pirate still. Like this, I mean,
Yeah.
like that goes way back.
So then I
feel
almost think
like-
it has to be Batman that he's mad at.
I don't know how that nugget made you solidly in that. To me, it would be more like maybe
I
not
still
Bane,
think
maybe
we've gotta
Psycho
see
Pirate.
the Thomas Wayne turn at some point
Yeah.
here with these.
I think you have to the deeper we get into the comic.
Yeah.
Batman, your favorite, you get Batman versus Hush
Yeah.
with Bernie Wrightson Batman ears. I mean, they were almost Bernie Wrightson bunny ears.
for sure. Everything about the art was really, really good to me. Honestly, I didn't even know it was Romita Jr. until I closed it back up,
Which is
which is good.
good.
Because
Yeah, I mean,
You-
I think you're right on with it. It's hit or miss. I mean, there's some of
Yeah.
it is
Some of it's
is actually
fantastic. Like
pretty
he
good.
does
Like,
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
fantastic.
but didn't he do the Frank Miller Superman?
Yes,
Yeah, and you
not fantastic.
Weren't a fan of that.
Yes. Okay, so after the fight with Hush, this is where we get into some questions. It seems like Batman knows Damian is captured and Alfred is dead.
Yes.
I really can't believe there's not a bigger game afoot because Bruce, this is his biological son. It's not his adopted Robin's. I mean,
Right.
this is
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne Jr.
With his kid with Talia al
Yeah.
Ghul.
And he's like, I know at some point he's on his way to kill him.
Yeah.
And the end panel is
He has a decision to make.
he's got a 45 pointed at Damian, hanging upside down. Do you really feel like Batman is the dude who's going to just let that be a flip of the coin, a choice?
No. So I don't think Alfred's dead.
I think
I
you're
don't
right.
think so either.
I think that I don't know, man. I want Thomas Wayne to be a good guy, but I have such a hard time seeing him as the good guy. Because this could be the longest of con. This could be all the way back from the button. In when
Which would be super sweet.
but I don't know, man. You've done a lot of shit. If you were going to be a good guy eventually, because like yeah, I don't know, man. Like I want Thomas Wayne to be the good guy, but I feel like if he is the good guy,
Then it kind of defeats
would-
who he is.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like
But he's supposed to be a good guy just by kind of he's DC's Punisher at this point.
Yeah.
Because Punisher you wouldn't call a bad guy, you'd call him kind of an anti-hero.
yeah.
So I don't feel like the anti-hero in the DCU is going to just smoke a kid.
I think the thing is like before all this stuff, he would have smoked him with no problem. I think the thing is now is he's gonna,
It's his grandson, dude.
but not really. It's his
Yeah.
grandson on this world.
As Damian reminds him.
But I feel like in Flashpoint, he ended up doing the right thing.
And that's what I think will
Correct.
happen. He'll either like pause for too long to let Alfred come up behind him and hit him in the head with a frying pan, or
Dude, if that actually happens,
that's what I think is going to happen.
if
to
that actually happens,
I think Alfred is
I've got an omelet skillet. Bing!
I think Alfred is like Trojan
It goes
horsing.
back to the Looney Tunes issue.
It's like canaries over his head.
No, better yet, he gets like an anvil
Wow
dropped on his
season.
head.
Duck season.
He gets an anvil dropped on his head. No, I think
across the
Alfred's.
side.
I think Alfred's like Trojan horsing up in the T-Rex.
Oh, dude, no, you should have stopped with the frying pan. He's rolling the giant penny towards him.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Wow.
So
You guys have left out the best part of this issue, though, is that when he shows back up in Gotham for the first time, we still get the mustache from the last.
oh my God, yes, the Magnum PI.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cracked me up.
Yeah, and that's how it would go down, though. Just like, hey, bud, don't you know it's after curfew? Do you know whose city this is? Yeah, I know
mine.
whose city this is. Do you? Oink? Because wasn't that in there? Wasn't there an oink in there?
Oh, probably.
Oh yeah, he
with
was wearing it was Pigman for sure. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was an oink in there. Anyway,
So I got just a little DC Venom, just the tiniest bit.
Venom's in Marvel.
Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and it's funny because I'm going to give some kudos to Marvel. Did y'all see the 2 ads in there?
I don't literally pay attention to the ads.
Well, they just annoyed me because I look and it's like Batman: The Killing Joke Deluxe Edition. Bro, that came out in like 86, 87?
yeah.
And then the next ad after that is Watchmen. Okay, I get it's timely because of the HBO thing, but is that all you got to hang your hat on right now? Is Killing Joke and Watchmen comics from the 80s? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm reading way more Marvel books than I've ever read.
I think it ebbs and flows. I think they realized sometime down the line that we both can't have.
Okay, but do you see Marvel putting out what's a seminal Marvel book?
And just putting.
Do you see ads for that in
No.
their books, or it's like,
You
hey,
s-
here's the new shit coming up, guys. We got stuff going.
You talking about that, though, does remind me of something. I can't remember which one it's in, if it's in Old Man Quill or Daredevil from this week. But did you see that they made it? It was a full page, 2-page ad of like the Eisner winners, and they still put Tom King's Vision in there. So like, that's kind of cool. Like they could have left that out. Like, I mean, knowing that he's over at DC now, but
That
that's
doesn't mean anything.
But good
no,
is good.
But, I mean,
well, I mean,
it's still.
I think the thing is now is like, I don't think it's so much as a DC versus Marvel thing anymore. I think it's work versus work. Because like,
Oh no! If you're an artist or a
Yeah.
writer or letterer or whatever, 100%. It's I'm going to go where the work is. But
Yeah.
my contention is
Jim Lee is probably not going to do a Marvel book because
Well, that would be kind of a
But
because he's high up
But
at
it's
DC.
been done. I mean,
But that's where he started his career.
Yeah.
with the X-Men. I was talking to my buddy at work about that.
And-
He's like,
and-
his X-Men work is what turned me on to Jim Lee.
And Marvel will always have that 8 million copy sold. They'll always have that, and you
But my
can't take
contention
his
is,
name
dude,
off.
I mean,
of
it's
that.
like, what is DC rolling right now that is, I mean, anywhere near this level? Event Leviathan is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. It's not near the Powers of House. Yeah.
But what
Absolute
what,
Carnage.
okay,
Daredevil.
I mean, yeah, you can keep going.
Yeah.
I think the thing is like, what would you want them to do, and what characters would you like them to do this with? They don't have an ensemble cast like that, except like Teen Titans or Justice League,
Ensemble cast like what?
like the X-Men. X-Men's got like
No,
50
dude, I'm
characters
just saying.
in it.
I'm just saying. You're missing the entire argument. The entire argument is you've picked 2 books from the 80s.
Yeah,
All right. We are in the the 2019s.
yeah.
Shouldn't you be advertising your new kick-ass books? And what new kick-ass books are they?
I mean, I don't know.
That's my point.
I mean, one of the things that Marvel had going for it is they just had their expo or whatever where they just announced all of the new books. So, I mean, why they're advertising for them is because they just announced a whole bunch of them. Like Donny Cates doing Thor and a whole bunch of other things.
So I wouldn't even, I'm just saying.
But where in the Marvel books have you seen them advertising new things except House of X and Powers of X?
Well, I remember this one. It was called, what am I thinking of? War of the Realms, yeah. Never read Thor before, ever.
Right? But that was a crossover event. And you normally hate crossover events. I'm just trying to say, like,
rabbit hole.
what crossover event? Do
No,
want
dude,
DC
I
to do?
gotta put a pin in it. I gotta quantify it. It's new, but it's something different that you don't like. You know what else I don't fucking like? Spider-Man or Carnage. Guess what I'm reading? Absolute Carnage,
Right.
and it's fucking phenomenal.
I get it, and I'm asking you, what do you want DC to do?
Come up with a good idea that's not in the 1980s. That's all I was pointing out was I see all this new growth with Marvel.
Yeah.
And the new growth with DC, it's not there. And I'm a DC dude. That's my problem. I want to be able to say, here's all the DC books I'm reading.
Right.
Here's the DC books I'm reading.
Batman, Curse of the White Knight, High Level when it comes back, Doomsday Clock, Event Leviathan. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
I feel like I'm reading
Daredevil, Old Man Quill.
Absolute Carnage.
Yep.
Powers, House.
Can't really count that anymore because it's going away after next week.
Well,
I
then
can
you can't-
still count
you
it
can't
because
count Event Leviathan because it's.
I
only
can't
got
count High Level because
a
it's
month or
gone
two.
away. So,
Okay.
I mean, if we're apples to apples, I'm just saying I'm reading way more Marvel than I usually would, and I really wish DC would step their game up because that's been my argument this whole time. Is Marvel's got the better movies. DC can't really get their shit together with their movies, but man, they've got better comics. Except they don't right now.
I still think Batman's the best comic out there right now.
Don't.
The best ongoing series right now.
Okay. Because I would.
Yeah, it's got the track record for sure. I mean,
That's a close one, dude.
With what exactly?
House and Powers. I know you said ongoing.
Yeah.
Daredevil's
Daredevil's pretty
close.
damn close, dude.
I don't think it's quite there yet. You've had 12 issues, not 80.
Okay. Which book do I read first?
That's up to you. That's a
But
personal
you
choice.
just said just a few minutes ago this is the best issue of Batman for like 20, 25 issues.
Best written.
So
Doesn't mean it's
it's okay that we can subtract like 20 or 25 issues off Batman,
In
but 12 issues of Daredevil isn't enough yet?
But the only reason why Daredevil was good
And
is
we are
because
also
of Chip
going to erase
Zdarsky.
Monsters, Monster Men thing.
I mean, we can
and-
take out all the issues
we
that
can-
are bad, and you're still left with 50 issues.
Okay. And I'm not discrediting that. Please don't. But what I'm saying is, what did we always used to start with?
Batman.
Every podcast
Batman.
for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
What did we start with this one?
An X-Men book?
Unanimously.
All
No one was like, no, Batman's got to go first.
Well, because I don't think Batman has to go first anymore. I don't know. It's not by design. It's just
I'm just telling you, dude, it was the third or fourth book I read this last
And there are
That's your
characters too.
personal
Like I feel
choice.
like
I don't understand personal choice, but what I'm saying is, if we're going to what book is better, I read the best book first.
And what book did you read first?
Powers.
Okay, so then by your own accord, Daredevil is not as good as Powers.
Ah! You caught me.
Just
What?
But I think you do have to admit that DC's missing out on some like if Green Arrow was good or if Green Arrow was around at all,
I don't even think they're making a Green
Right.
Arrow book
No,
right now.
but we read that before Batman at
Yeah.
a certain point.
yeah,
And so they're just I don't know. I mean, I would be interested in at least Green Arrow, probably more of the Batman universe. Like if they were
Yeah.
like I don't really think like if Nightwing was being done well, I think I'd be interested in that. I know that wouldn't that wouldn't
but
be
I mean,
you at all,
But
I mean,
then again, Absolute Carnage wasn't me at all, but written well. I'm like, oh, holy shit.
So I think maybe the problem that we're getting to here is that there's only one DC book that you can say, yeah, this is clearly good. Whereas Marvel, you're like,
Well, I don't know. I
dude,
mean,
it could be 4 or 5 books that
Event
are really good.
Leviathan's pretty darn good.
So it's 2 out of
Yeah.
what 5, 7?
I mean, Martian Manhunter isn't good.
Yeah, but that's
We
because
all
of the
dropped
art.
that, right?
Well, mainly because of the art.
Okay, but
Because I didn't mind the story. It was just the art was I couldn't get over it.
Good is good.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we could debate this for a while. I'm
Correct.
going to
Yeah.
move on to a really good book. In case anybody's wondering, Chichetto is amazing.
Yeah, those especially I wrote down the last pages with Kingpin. Like in so many comics, like he's just kind of a away drawn character. You know, if you draw a blob and you've got the Kingpin. Those last pages with Kingpin just were amazing as he's standing there in the bathroom and he's just.
I almost think that Chichetto was had stills of Vincent D'Onofrio when he was drawing that out, because it looks so similar to when he's throwing a beating.
Couldn't this whole run, at least especially with the Chichetto art, couldn't it just be a season of the Netflix show? I feel even the way that Daredevil is drawn, I feel like it
for sure
it could just drop into that.
Well, because I think
universe
originally in season 1 he had that kind of black on black uniform with he wasn't in the.
So he did the black on black, and then I think
in season 2 he did the black on white.
Season 3 he did the white,
the black on white.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, dude, this is a question for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know you haven't watched it. Do you feel like there are, and if so, don't you just absolutely love it, the similarities in Peaky Blinders last season and the Kingpin part of the story?
In terms of what?
So Thomas Shelby in Peaky Blinders goes from being just kind of a thug and a criminal
in season 5
to raising himself up to politics.
Yeah.
I know they aren't related.
So
okay?
I know exactly.
But
what you're
in my
about.
world, they're related.
So you're talking about at dinner when he's like, "That used to be me. That's not me anymore." Yeah. Okay, I can see that a little bit. I don't think it's as well done.
But I mean, you've got a few panels versus a season.
Well, for sure. But I had always thought that this was kind of a fucking ruse from Kingpin. Whereas I think Thomas Shelby is legitimately trying to make himself better.
I don't think this is a ruse. I think he's
he
legitimately
wanted to.
trying to make himself better. He's like, real power comes from not being a thug.
He made a poor fucking choice then.
Oh,
Well-
he's still Kingpin.
And I think, I've got some thoughts about that as well. But I just,
Unless you're smoking the whole fucking family, there's no way this is not gonna get out.
so
You're the mayor of fucking New York.
I love the quote from Daredevil: "These men, these monsters don't fear me."
They fear him.
Dude, he's got to get the horns back. I mean, he's Marvel's Batman.
I don't think so, because I think
Red Batman Day.
that allowed him to overcome them with very much ease, because they weren't pulling punches and he was able to use their strength
They're
against them.
always using their fear, but
But
I
it's-
mean, he gets into a situation where Elektra has to come bail his ass out.
Well, for sure. But, I mean, he's been bailed out by tons of other people before. Spider-Man, Punisher, yeah. But I think... So, do we know who... We still don't know who the quotations Daredevil is.
But I think your theory is pretty good, because it still
I don't know that
it looks like
It almost has to be her husband. There's no way.
Did
The
he have a
beard
soul
and-
patch?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
dude. Well, and
I like it, dude.
Well, and
because I didn't pick up on that.
And here's the other thing, too. He talks. This is the first time we've ever heard that character of quotes Daredevil talk. And he says something like, "Are you here for her?" Or something like that.
Oh, dude, well done.
Or maybe not.
Okay, well, rescinded.
I thought, though. Hold on. Let me get a wristband. But, I don't know. Oh, she's Mrs. by the book. Oh, no. I think they're after her. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah,
Dude, if that's the case, that's
he
pretty...
for sure has I mean, you can see.
Yeah, I saw the soul patch,
Yeah,
and I was,
I think it's him. I think that's who it has to be, which is gonna really suck for him when he finds out that Daredevil is stepping on his wife or his girl, and then he dresses up like her. And,
his toy.
yeah. We sin. I repent. We sin some more.
So
But let's talk about the cover too. Like, how dope are these covers?
Dude, I brought that up a couple of issues ago. I really like him a lot.
Is it Chichetto doing the covers too?
No,
I don't think so.
No?
I'm sure if we opened it back up, it would tell us. But anyway,
So
continue on.
Fisk eats a bunch of shit in high society. I mean, they just. It's like he's a clown there for his amusement.
Well, and it's really one dude.
They all kind of pitch in, but one dude more than others.
And then
I don't think it goes well for him.
well, for surely not, because he gets his fucking skull
Caved in.
martelled.
Yeah.
That's a
So-
game of
so-
God.
No, it's Tedesco, which
Chichetto, Tedesco.
Testo, yeah. Tomato.
All I'm hearing is Eddos are great.
Yes.
speaking of Chichetto too, like when the final Powers comes out this week, there's a Magneto Chichetto cover that might be worth.
Is it the white Magneto?
Okay. Remind me when we pick up our books, that shit has got to happen. So Fisk has a relapse.
Yeah.
See, and I don't. You guys say relapse. I think he's just trying to hide it. I don't think he ever forgot this part of himself.
No, because he's fighting it. He's fighting it the entire time.
Yeah, but then
he's like, keep control. Don't let in to your baser emotions. And you can only be pushed so far. To me, I think this issue points out you can't change who you are.
Yeah, but I mean, you could just punch the dude. You didn't have to.
No. You can't change who you are. Daredevil can't change who he is. I mean, he could put a white fucking tablecloth over his eyes and go and try to kick ass and not hurt anybody.
But he didn't really hurt anybody in the first place. The dude accidentally died.
Okay, but it's on his conscience. We know that's who that character is.
Yeah, I get it.
Kingpin, he can try to dress up, and
Try to be the mayor, try and do things legitimately, but at the end of the day,
he is still a thug.
You're still a dude who
Yeah.
takes somebody's skull and
caves it in.
yeah.
Yeah, in the bathtub, and it's like,
Yeah. Oh, and I think an important part of this too is we're slowly seeing both of them go back to what they are. But I think it's important that they're getting back to that without each other. Like,
that's a
Kingpin
good point.
isn't becoming the Kingpin again because of something
Daredevil's
Daredevil is
done.
pushing him. Kingpin is becoming Kingpin again because that's who he is. Daredevil isn't becoming Daredevil again because Kingpin is doing something to the city. It's because Daredevil is who he is. I think it's good to see them separate for a while, but getting back to who they actually are.
Interesting. That's an interesting take. I
I like
thought
that.
about that. Because, I mean, you are right. I mean, because they've had like zero contact for. Well, no, because I think there was like right at the beginning there was a little bit, but other than that, there's like zero contact between these two, especially in the second story arc. So is this the end of the second story arc?
The contact,
This is
even
the third
really,
story arc, right?
I think so. Yeah. The contact too is more like Daredevil just thinking that it's Kingpin has to be behind this. He had to have set me up with this guy. So I don't know that there really is a whole
Talking about the
lot.
other Daredevil, the Daredevil.
No, I'm saying back in at the beginning of this run when Daredevil kills the guy. Like,
no drop left behind.
He swears that it has to be Kingpin behind it.
Yes,
so
it
it's
can't
all
be
in
anybody else.
A lot of it is in Daredevil's head.
For sure.
There really isn't a whole lot of interaction between the two,
But
in these first 12 issues of this.
I think throughout Daredevil, there have been breaks in his psychosis that has made him think that it's the Daredevil or that it's Kingpin. Before, right, Brian? Mm-hmm. Like this isn't the first time that he's dreamt up some BS.
Well, dude, I mean, think about it. If have a mortal enemy, every bad thing that happens to you runs through that filter of somebody's jacking with you.
Yeah, it's the Joker, or it's or it's Kingpin, or it's whoever.
But I'm telling you, and I'll. Did I bring this up on the pod, or I just talked to you guys about it?
I have no idea.
Dude needs to write Defenders.
Oh, I think
Zdarsky.
Yes,
You've mentioned it before.
I mean,
But I really think that like my idea would work better. Like, because you don't really. The thing is like, what are you defending?
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah. So Hell's Kitchen needs to be the character, and they need to be like ancillary parts of the story. But I don't think.
Maybe not do the team, but tell a story
Yes.
each issue by
Tales
somebody
from-
different.
Yeah.
from
Okay.
Hell's
Like,
Kitchen.
I like that.
Because Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah,
Because then he
that's
can
actually-
throw in a Spider-Man issue
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
two.
a Daredevil,
Punisher,
Luke Cage,
Jessica
yeah.
Jones.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do the world of Hell's Kitchen. Don't do the characters.
Zdarsky,
Yeah.
please listen to this.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because like if you call it Daredevil and you got a bunch of ancillary characters in there, it's like it's not Daredevil and Friends. It's called fucking Daredevil. Well, I feel like if you call it Hell's Kitchen, then
Instead of Defenders,
you can call it.
That's
You can call it. You can anybody.
You can do the ensemble cast
Yeah.
without doing the ensemble cast,
and then they don't all have to be together,
or they can be,
or they
but-
can be. Yeah,
but it doesn't always have to be.
and Spider-Man can make an appearance, or
Good call, dude.
maybe Moon Knight. I'm just,
Ah,
the real DC,
yeah.
the real Marvel Batman.
I really don't feel like that is.
That's what it's designed to be. I don't know that
Yeah.
it's got the same gravitas as Daredevil to Batman, but
So while we're on the Zdarsky topic, so he's apparently taken over Ryan Stegman's
I don't know that that's a
podcast.
thing. I thought maybe he was just jacking with him.
Oh no, it's like
Oh, it's
in the
for real?
Oh yeah, when you click on Stegman and Friends podcast, it now comes up with Zdarsky's picture, and it's called Chip Zdarsky and His Real Friends.
Oh my god, that's
And
hilarious,
I've
dude.
listened to the first few minutes of it. It's pretty good. He just starts calling up other Marvel writers and trying to like show that he's friends with them. So he calls up Mark Waid, he calls up Al Ewing, he calls up Kelly Thompson, and it's just like, "Hey, we're friends, right? Who
are you again?
Oh my
and they're
God,
like,
that's amazing.
Who is this? But the best part of it was at the beginning. I couldn't believe he said this. He was like, This podcast is being brought to you by DC Comics. Bendis is coming. And then he's like, BC, Bendis came. Like, really? You're
Dude,
So, it was
he
pretty
is
good.
such a loose
He's
cannon.
weird, yeah. But
Because
they're pretty
I
good.
listened to one, it was like the latest Stegman and Friends, and it was all right, but it felt like the producer was doing more of the questioning than.
yeah.
But oh my god, that is hilarious! I just sent that tweet to you because I was like, I saw this, and it's got to be a joke. Apparently,
No,
it's
for real.
not.
You know, you look it up on the Apple Podcast now, and it's Chip there with Zdarsky Productions.
That is fantastic.
and the fact that your production company is Zdarsky,
yeah.
Loose cannon.
which is good.
Yes.
All right, second beer of the evening is finally.
Well, here's the sad thing. Nothing is going to beat that.
Do we need a
So-
second beer?
Well,
Well, I
we
thought
can
maybe it's
still
a
enjoy
palate
stuff.
cleanser.
Oh, for sure. So this
Oh,
is
we're
the
still
what?
going to get to the one I brought too. You guys got to try the Notorious
awesome.
POG.
Right on, dude.
Notorious POG.
This is Deschutes Sour Ale, Marion Berry and Lavender Sour Ale. So only
Mayor?
10
Marion Berry?
Marion Berry.
Is it got some
Is,
crack cocaine
is,
in
li-
it?
is
or-
Little John out there somewhere looking for Maid Marian?
4.3% and 10 IBUs.
Well, see, I went with a 4.3. Knock it down a little
Nice.
bit after
Yeah.
the 12.
Appreciate
So
that.
we're not going to take this any further than me talking about it, but I saw a meme the other day that was Notorious BIGOT. And I thought it was hilarious.
Wow.
God damn it, dude. All right. Old man Hakoil.
Quill?
Hakoil.
Quinn.
Aquil?
Old
Not
man
Quinn.
Oh, not Quinn.
It's
Okay.
Quill this time. I finally learned. It's really bad when you tweet the fucking writer, Old Man Quinn, too.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
And he responds.
And he responds anyway. Thank you, Ethan Sachs, for not being an a-hole and telling me that I can't spell and that I put Quinn instead of Quill. Anyway.
He's writing Medicine Woman. Dr.
Wow.
Quinn.
That'd be fucking hilarious. Just old Dr. Quinn rolling around. And
All right, so I'm going to take a hit off this.
so I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
In
That's
what
spicy.
year do you think that Old Man Quill is taking place?
In what year?
Like 20 what?
60? Approximately?
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
That's... I'm
I'm not
Well,
sure.
that's different. That's close.
Because it starts
Almost.
sour and then...
And then flour.
But it almost smells
dissipates.
spicy.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was saying.
It almost smells spicy. Okay, so here's what I'm getting at. In Savage Avengers, there's something at the end of the book. A character shows up. And then in one of the ads, there's Spider-Man 2099, who's also facing Doom. So theoretically, we know Doom is, or at least a version of Doom is, in the year 2099. And in Savage Avengers, which we'll get to in a minute, Doom shows up. In the Savage Lands, which I think is kind of weird, but whatever, we'll get to that.
Dude, how could you say anything is weird in conjunction with that book?
Fair enough. But Doom has shown up 3 times in 3 different books, and they're all in the future or in completely different places. So is it... And I don't know behind Spider-Man 2099 or whatever it is, but could that Doom and the other Doom be the same Doom? Like, could Old Man Quill be in 2099?
It's possible, but I think they're completely separate timelines. I don't think they're crossing over, but who knows? I mean, you're right. It could be getting closer to that 20. It's really not that far off, possibly.
I mean, because if you're talking about, spoilers, 55 years into the future from right now, what is that? 2064? No, 2074?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you're not, even if you do the simple math, you're not out of the realm of possibility.
No.
So before we got into that, I was just wondering if
The only thing that makes me think it probably wouldn't be is just in that 2099 universe, there's tons of different heroes still.
Okay.
There's Spider-Man and there's Punisher and
Okay.
there's some
Well-
X-Men still running around.
Okay.
And
Because we do know Punisher's dead, right? Punisher died in the annual, right?
I think.
But the Daredevil is the one that's still alive. I don't really like it.
So not great?
I don't like it.
Not great.
It's
It's
not
a
that I
little-
don't like it. It's just it's weird
Yeah.
It is. It's
Yeah.
out there.
and not.
Not in a good way?
Well, I hate to say that because it's
No, it's... I know, because I like everything else Deschutes does.
yeah. Because that defret that little squeezy that I brought that I have, that's good stuff.
Dude, I was so excited when I saw this. Like, oh, it's sour from Deschutes. And
Yeah,
it's
it's not that it's bad. It's just the flavoring is
weird.
weird. Yeah.
And not in a good, weird way.
All right, so we're ramping up towards the end of Old Man Quill.
So it's, in my opinion, best issue in a while.
I think we're
Yeah.
definitely going upward. We're ramping up. Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
By order of the Peaky Fascists.
Yeah, it's just there's not a whole lot to say about it. That is I mean, it's fine. It's readable. It's just
So
you're
it's never gonna live up to. The
here's
old
my
man
thought,
Hawkeye.
though. We've got a time stream open now to where he can go back in time,
well, he's kind of stuck back there. Spoilers.
find the ultimate nullifier. But, hey, when he's stuck back there, guess who else is stuck back there? The rest of the Guardians. They're not dead yet.
Yeah, but he also isn't dead yet. He also isn't old yet. The Peter Quill from
Yeah.
55 years ago.
don't know. I was hoping at this point because the rest of the Guardians are dead. Maybe, hey friends, here's a bad road to go down.
So could be that. But
He sacrifices himself and Young Man, Quill, and the rest of the Guardians go back. I don't know.
see. Here's what I think is going to happen.
Because that would be a much better
cool.
track than what we're on.
I think he's going to set this up for another Old Man series.
Okay, it's about fucked out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's about fucked out.
Well, it
for a
just
hot
needs
minute.
to take a break. Because, the setup at the end of Old Man Hawkeye, I don't think any of us would
Not
complain
want,
about that.
Right.
which is Old Man Daredevil. But he's 55 years in the past. So that means Logan and his family are still alive. That means Hawkeye's not blind yet. And he knows potentially he knows all of this information. He knows about Mysterio tricking. So, you could reset the whole motherfucker if you wanted to.
Which would really feel annoying to me. I'm sorry. It really would. Because
Honestly, I hope he dies.
I don't know.
I hope he gets to see his team one more time.
And then he croaks out and the rest of the team goes back and saves the day.
Or not saves the day.
Yeah, I get you. And it's sad that we're to that point of, I really don't care.
Well, I care.
But you don't, or you would be like, he's got to go back and save the day.
But I just hope that it's something different and not just
I hope it doesn't.
the old man's going to save the day and here, and boom, over.
Because, to me, Star-Lord or Peter Quill...
Lavender.
Peter Quill doesn't...
Something to wash with, not to drink.
He's a human. He's not Wolverine. He doesn't have
regenerative
adamantium
powers.
blades that come out of his knuckles and you can slice through fucking people. He's not Hawkeye with dead-eye accuracy. He's just a random dude with some technology and not Tony Stark technology.
No, dude. He's Star-Lord, bro. He's
No, he's
Star-Lord.
not. The book's not called Old Man Star-Lord.
Well, but he's still got, he's half alien. Yeah, he doesn't shtick, but...
Yeah, but I'm just saying, to me, he's not a powerful mutant. He's not a powerful human.
Delightful.
He's just there.
There's trouble in paradise.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of hope he just tries to go on this grand quest to get back and he fails. And then just gets smoked, and that's the end of the story.
I don't think you're going to see a Marvel book like that, but be different.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope it's not something clandestine or pedestrian.
At some point, I agree with you. At this, we've been building up and building up and building up, and I don't know what makes me happy at the end of this. So hopefully Ethan Sachs has something chambered to...
To me, all you have to do is don't make the ending obvious.
Yeah.
That's it. Just do something other than what I would expect to happen.
And for 11 and 12, bring back Chichetto.
It's not going to happen.
Suddenly.
But it's not going to happen, but yeah, it would definitely work.
All right. I don't have this book, so I will need a...
Savage Avengers number 6, which we didn't think there was going to be a 6.
And maybe there shouldn't have been a 6.
I would have to agree.
Okay, good, because holy crap, the art went in the tank.
Oh, for sure.
Part of the reason why I
that's
liked this book was the Deodato art.
Yeah.
And whoever they have on it now, it's not
Jacinto?
bad. It's
Jacinto?
the things that the art actually wasn't bad. It was the coloring that really everything is pink and purple and bright blue. And when you're going from Deodato's dark, gory, gritty. It's just, man, it literally is night and day because
you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like a Dr. Seuss book. The coloring.
Yes.
Like
yes.
I'm not even fucking joking.
Oh, the places you'll go.
Yes.
Yeah,
100%, dude. I'm not even joking. Like,
Yeah.
you open it up here in a minute. It like
No,
when
I
they're-
do
when
not
they're-
want green eggs.
No, when they're rolling around in like the skin
Logan of
armor
Pabst I am.
or whatever, like I'm like, you look ridiculous, and you look like a Dr. Seuss character. I'm dead serious, man.
And,
And
even
then
though the story wasn't all that bad, I was thrown by the art. I mean,
so one of the things I did enjoy it was the dialogue continued to be pretty good.
yeah,
Because at one point, okay, so they're in Antarctica, and at one point Conan's really really cold. And he's like, we could just burn your family. Because he's still lugging around the caskets. And he's like, oh, these are made of wood. We could just burn your family. Like, just nonchalantly. And then Punisher's like, we're not burning my fucking family. He's like, all right, man, calm down. I'm
Just
cold.
a thought. Just a thought.
I'm just cool, man.
Just throwing things out
You
there.
know.
Spitballing.
So the dialogue continues to be really good, but you go from I'm left here in the middle of bumfuck Egypt by magic, and within an issue I've crossed the entirety of Antarctica, killed a bunch of.
Because Antarctica's pretty large.
You've crossed the whole of Antarctica. You've murdered hundreds, and I do because at one point he like picks up Punisher's fucking machine gun and just mows down like 100
and magically knows how to
beasts,
Use it. Yeah.
'cause-
beasts or whatever, and then they skin them all and make these ridiculous uniforms. And then suddenly at the end of the issue, Conan's on a horse, and Punisher is on like a boat, like a boat, like
I'm
a
on a
ship,
boat.
like a freighter.
but like an 1890s.
Not a dinghy.
No. He's on like a USS
It's a
Constitution.
schooner.
No, it's a frigate, motherfucker. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you went from Conan's world of the Savage Lands, where swords and bows and arrows, to current day through magic to technology, and then you go back to Antarctica, where then you get on a boat. That's not a boat, but like a wooden boat.
Dinghy?
No, not like a ship, not like a cruise ship or like a commercial vessel, like a Assassin's Creed 3 boat.
Okay, so there's a dude.
Yeah,
Ace picking up some nails.
not even like that.
Okay, fair enough.
We're in no.
It's some pieces of wood.
Hey
Put them in
man,
jars.
that's a good book. Don't sully its good name by my inappropriate representation of the source material.
Which is gonna is it TV or TV show or movie?
it's fucking television. James Wan.
So, dude, I've
But
been
have
watching.
have they ever told us like what network? Like, or I mean, when
Oh,
they say television,
I'm sure
could
it's
it
gonna
still be Netflix? Could
Oh,
it
it
still
can't be DC because it's an image book.
So it'd have to be. No,
Netflix, Hulu, Amazon.
I think it's got to be Netflix because I think Netflix has a quasi deal with them because that's where all the Mark Millar stuff's getting made.
Okay, because I've been watching more of Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
It has flaws.
Well, it's probably because it only got one season, and they took two. They took the episode count down too, but they didn't.
But what I'm saying is, it has flaws.
Yeah.
But I feel like they captured the essence of Swamp Thing. They captured the mood. I mean, it's a good pedigree for then taking the mood and the feel and the tone of Gideon Falls and putting it on TV.
Well, and the thing is
Like, I trust the dude, is what I'm saying.
well, and he's not a director. He's going to be a producer. So he's just going to be there being like, yeah, I would do this, not this. He's not going to be there being
Well,
like...
but that's kind of okay, too, because...
Well, no,
yeah.
I wasn't saying that was a bad thing.
Right.
Because I think the only person that should really be telling you what to do and how to do it...
Is
No.
Lemire and Sorrentino?
Yeah, for sure. She needs to be in on the art direction. She needs to be in on the costume and the set design, all that stuff. But the characters and the story building, like, you don't need to go to some horror director. Now, granted, he's a really good horror director.
Because, dude, this lends itself
Oh,
to
yeah.
that very
For
well.
sure.
And
Yeah, dude, it needs to be creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be genuinely creeped. Like you need to be creeped the fuck out watching it.
Yes.
And so
Because I mean, I feel like that's kind of how you are with the comic. You're like, what the fuck?
right. But could you imagine seeing some of that shit? You'd be like,
that might be too
I
much.
need to sleep. But the
Yeah,
lights
Because you're not
are
a horror guy. at
No,
all.
no, dude, no.
You know, but my thing is like, here's what I hope doesn't happen. I don't hope that this gets made before Saga gets made, because they've been talking about getting Saga made, and they've been talking about Why the Last Man getting made. I'm like,
I'm way more interested in Gideon Falls and Saga before
For
Why
sh-
the Last Man.
for sure. But my thing is like, we hear all this talk of these comic books that we love getting made, and I haven't seen them yet. They talked about Reborn from Mark Millar getting made, and Magic Order getting made, and like, when are these supposed to be coming out? Like,
I feel like that's
I think they're all
newer.
working on
Yeah,
'Cause they've
it's
been-
in progress, but
they've been in progress for a couple of years now.
I thought the Millar thing just got announced
Oh no, it was like
in the last year.
I mean, maybe
'Cause, dude, this
Jupiter's
shit-
Legacy's coming soon. I mean, because they're filming that now, so it's
and that has no ties to Jupiter Ascending, right? That
No.
movie with Mila Kunis
just have
and
to-
Yeah,
which have the same.
which was
was-
very Fifth Element.
it wanted to be really good.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Did you ever see that?
no.
Okay, well, don't rush out.
No. Woof woof Tatum.
But yeah, but
Another issue or two.
it's at least gonna get one more. But if it's another turd burglar, it's
Yeah,
probably gonna be
yeah, I
a,
agree.
a drop skis, because I love the idea. And the only reason why it's getting another issue is because of that last page where it showed Elektra, like the cover was like Elektra or something like that. So that kind of makes me wonder if he's not going to do like a Conan one issue, Conan and Punisher or whatever, and then he's going to show like what the other people are doing.
Yeah.
The next issue, and
then
that could be kind
finally
of
bring
good
them
if you're
back
going to bring them
together.
back together. But it's like, you should have just stopped at 5. Because 1 through 5
Was it good?
And I even wrote that 1 through 5 was a complete Savage Adventure story, and you should have just left it there. Because
Or given it some time and
Yeah.
come back to it a year from
Or-
now when you've.
since you basically there's never been a Savage Avengers before, just make it the Conan and Punisher story.
Yeah.
And call it something else.
Yeah.
Call it like Savage Avengers presents Conan and Punisher or whatever. I don't know what the hell to call it, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Since this book doesn't have a long pedigree of issues to go back on, and it's a relatively new idea, I don't think you necessarily had to conform to conventional storytelling.
Right.
So, but I'm glad we both didn't like it for the same reasons.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm reading a Dr. Seuss book. I'm serious, man. Open this up and look at the color.
No, I trust you.
All right. Wow.
You don't have to convince me not to pick that book up.
Fair enough.
I've been convinced for a while.
All right. So next beer is Stone's Notorious POG. It's a Berliner Weiss style ale with passion fruit, orange, and guava. 4.7%.
Which is going to be really interesting because Stone is really known for their IPAs. All right. I guess we can do this one next.
Depends on what this one is. Strange Sky over East Berlin.
So, for whatever reason, man, I love picking number ones up. Because I don't know if it's I'm going to find the next big thing or, it's a good jumping off point. I don't want to start into a book that's already 5 issues in.
I don't know. I mean, I think the thing with it is for me, it's
Looks delightful.
I can be on the same
smells
level
really good.
with everybody else. So, like, if you're 40 issues behind on Saga and you're picking up Saga number 1,
That's as good as the last beer was bad. Man, that is like citrusy, juicy. It's like tart orange juice. I don't even know that I go sour with that. It's more tart.
that's delicious as balls.
Wow, dude.
I'm not even
Gobble, gobble.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of like
Teabagging?
Chocolate covered Jolly Ranchers. I don't know.
like you guys remember Tang?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the
Yeah,
fucking
the space. Yeah.
that's what it reminds me of. Fucking Tang. It's
That's really, really
alcoholic
good.
Tang. Next, we're gonna get alcoholic Surge.
Yeah. So, Strange Guys over East Berlin.
Right.
We both picked this up.
So it's set in the 1970s.
1973.
Yeah, 70s.
You've got a disenfranchised Western spy. He's helping some East Berliners over to West Berlin, and witnesses we find out to be a UFO drop
Well, that's not all that happens.
on the East German side. Okay, go ahead.
So that alone, I think, would have gotten me. Just alternate history, sci-fi-esque. Instead of it dropping in Roswell, it drops in a sleepy little town in East Berlin. But that's not the end of the story.
I wasn't even to the end.
I know.
But
But
I'm just
saying,
setting the stage.
No, but what I'm saying is like, before you go any further, that alone, I'm in.
Yes, 100%.
You know, you're talking Cold War.
I read the synopsis and I was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh,
You
this
know.
could be really good."
So
And having grown up in that time period, I felt like it really encapsulated that time period perfectly.
well, and after you finish, I want to go ahead.
Well, because you've got, he's helping dudes and chicks.
He's helping
over
anyone,
the wall,
anyone over the wall,
right?
Yeah,
But then he gets spotted by the
tower.
the head Stasi dude.
Yeah,
Which in every movie in the 80s, I mean, there was always the dude who knew everything and could just look at you and know you're lying. You know, that East Berlin intelligence officer.
who's really a Russian intelligence officer.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was the whole motif, and man, I really feel like they nailed it.
Well, and another thing that they nailed was, in my opinion, the art.
Yes.
The art is not great if you have a current book. But for a book set in the Eastern Bloc, the coloring and the shading and the darkness and then the light colors of the spotlight and all that stuff, it lends to that sense of when the event happens and the strange thing happens over the skies of East Berlin, it like lights up the page because it lights like as it would light up the night sky.
Yeah.
And it, to me, I wasn't sold on the art until the second half of the book, and then I was like, all right, this is the art that this book needs.
Right, because I mean, it's not like Chichetto art
Well, it's not
or
even-
Alex Ross or but it's stylized and the colors are correct
Yeah.
and.
It's more Andrian Sorrentino for.
But I mean, don't you
Gideon
see her
Frost.
as like a Bond villain?
Oh,
at,
dude,
at some point.
dude, yeah.
So, superb storytelling. It captures the time period perfectly. The art's really good and fits the genre to me.
Yeah, and I think that's what the thing is like, what I mean to say is like, if you had this art in Batman, we would be very disappointed.
Agreed.
But because it's a story in the 70s, because like the difference,
Like you look at a 70s movie versus,
Well,
something
it's
in
not-
2019.
sure, but not even that so much. It's
But
like,
captures that time period.
but also if you look at the like if you know anything about the Cold War and the Eastern Bloc versus West Berlin is very much what current day Germany looks like. Where East Berlin, the reason why they call it East Bloc is because the Soviets came in and they blocked everything off with like concrete blocks, and it was all block, it was all grayscale.
Yeah.
There was no color, there was no effeminate, there's no shops. It's all very purposeful. Here's a purpose. It's
industrial.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
So the art is very much industrial like that, and I think that that's great because if you had it be modernized art, it wouldn't
Dude, which is pretty good insight from somebody who didn't grow up in that time period.
Right, but I like history.
Yeah.
But, so very good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if we can find you one, I'll snag one for you
sure.
because I think you dig it.
Yeah. All right. So we're done with all of the kind of big books we're going to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So these next few, we may not say a whole bunch about, but we're just going to kind of rip through them a little quickly here.
Well, because they're number ones, indie books that we'd like to give a chance. And
or they're there's just not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But we want to let you know that we're still reading these books.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
So Forever Maps, Scout Comics. Which
Now,
I've never
did the
heard of.
one that I dared you a million years ago, where the chick and her dog, and she's like on the toilet, was that Scout Comics too, or was
I
it
have
named
no idea.
Scout? I just remember it being awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Girl on the
It was
toilet
a
and her dog.
or it was a dare.
It was you said it right. It was a punishment.
Yes, it was.
I heard that.
I swear you were forced to not read it because you've never read your dares. just kidding.
Took the punishment
But not
because
really.
it wasn't a punishment. So, you and I picked this up because it's
Right.
number one. It's probably one of the weirdest comics I've read in a while.
Says the dude who brought Gideon Falls to the table.
I don't know. I mean,
Okay, so
did you not think it was weird?
oh no, it was 100% weird. I don't know if it's as weird as Gideon Falls, because there wasn't a black barn and a dude with a dust mask on and collecting nails and pieces of wood. So basically, it's Dad's an asshole. It's like 1775, 74.
So I don't think Dad's an asshole. I think Dad realizes that the world isn't what the kid thinks it is.
Okay, Dad's an asshole. Remember, he said he taxed some dude to the poorhouse in front of him. I mean, that was the lead in.
Yeah, okay, Dad's probably an asshole.
1700-ish Canada,
Sounds right.
and
Still under the British Empire rule.
correct. Dad's a lawyer, magistrate.
He's a magistrate. He's like the town tax levier.
Yeah. So he expects the kid to follow in his
Correct.
footsteps. Kid's like,
Fuck you.
yeah. Mom gets involved, and he basically tells Mom
To
because
go fuck off.
Dad's beaten Mom, thinks Mom's a coward, kind of gives her shit, and he's like, peace out. And he runs away, finds this dude who's clearly pretty insane, who has a map.
Like the story already, you're like, this is not gonna go well. You find a crazy dude with a fucking map.
And dude's finally like, you're trying to take my map, my precious. And, but he's like, then fuck it. I've spent years following this map. Here, take the map.
Right.
So the kid's like, oh,
A map.
I shall follow this. But the only way to do that is go back home and be like, Dad, yeah, I was wrong. You and me are simpatico. We are. I'm going to go be a lawyer, so I'm going to need you to pay for me to go to school. And then he goes and just starts following the map. And
A year passes.
when he finds that map, then he finds another map, and he finds another map, and another map, and another map, and goes back home. And spoiler 1, 2, 3, Mom's dead.
Well, a year has passed. He finally gets over his anger from his dad, and he goes back to apologize because he realizes that he was wrong. And as Brian spoiled, he's like, I just want to talk to my mom. And he's like, well, you could have talked to her when she was alive.
And you've been not been going to school. And
Yeah, because I sent a coach for you.
yeah.
I don't know. It was
Okay.
weird.
It's weird, but here's where I give it kudos, where we talk about, kind of off the beaten path art. Everything is sepia toned.
Yeah.
Everything is penciled and shaded. I mean, I might have liked the art more than I liked the story.
I enjoyed it. It didn't knock my socks off, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. mean, I lent it to a dude at work, and he's like, I lent him 3 books. Not Dead Rabbits, but Dead Eyes.
Yeah.
The reprinting.
Yeah.
Loved that. Loved some Strange Skies over East Berlin. He's like, yeah, I couldn't get into that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I'll give it one more to see where it goes.
Yeah, if we can find the second one. Well, the thing is like at the end made it look weird. Like it wasn't going to come out as a second one. It was going to come out
Like it was
going to
come out as a graphic novel, which
Yeah.
to me would kind of piss me off.
That's what it looked like, though.
Yeah.
It looked like they're going to release it in December as a graphic novel and not a second issue. Because it was like, now you've had a first taste. Here's the rest of the story. And I was like, who are you, Paul Harvey?
Yeah, and yeah, now for the rest of the story. I probably would have not picked up the first one had I known it was going straight into a graphic
And I don't know if that's true or not, but by the end of that, the last page in that book, that's the way it made it sound.
It really did. You're absolutely correct. All right. I have one more to share.
Yep.
Never have I been more excited to find a 4th printing. Now, Eric's read this one too, and
Right.
you haven't.
Correct.
So I'll pass it on to you after the pod.
Something is killing the children.
He's already
number 1.
You've reviewed it, though. You talked about
I
it.
have,
right?
yeah, James Tinian the Fourth. Is it? It's Boom, isn't it?
Yes.
It is Boom.
Yeah, I've kind of gone over it a little bit. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was good. Liked the kid aspect of it, like this kid who's having to deal with seeing all his friends go poorly in the woods.
So I guess
Go
my
poorly.
Yeah, trying not to be too spoilerish with it.
They get smoked. Got it.
yeah poorly is yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess my only problem is the new tendency, and I think it's Boom in particular, to put out short runs of a book to where then it goes to subsequent printings. So, Once and Future. Man, I really dug that book. Should I have had to pay $10 for a number 1, and it's, what, in 3rd or 4th already?
I think they're doing a 7th and final or some shit.
Okay. It ain't 7 printings worth of good. This is really good. I'm not going to take away from it at all. But for me to be excited about finding a 4th printing of this, I feel like this is a book I pick up as a number 1 and like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'll check it out again. I don't know that it's 4th printing good. And I think that's the new tendency by some of these indie...
Which is really funny because they didn't do that with Strange Skies over East Berlin. And that's a Boom comic.
Which...
Maybe it's the artist that determines this. Because, I mean, Boom's one of those indie kind of
like Aftershock where you can...
I mean, I don't think it's just the little guys, though, either. I mean, Marvel does it quite a bit. I mean, Venom number 1. I mean, Marvel has the power to print as many as they want, and
correct.
it went to like a 4th or a 5th printing, and Absolute Carnage number 1 is on like its third printing already. So,
but I feel like that's. God,
that should excite you more, because then when you do have the number 1,
oh yeah, absolutely, it's worth
and
more.
it's a first printing, then. Yeah.
Trust and believe, from a guy who has about 5 or 6 Spawn number 1s that are worth almost nothing because we just crapped out a giant run. Yeah, that's great.
I mean, to me, it's
it feels like you're trumping up.
So there are some people who don't think comics are worth anything. You pick it up, you read it, then it's worthless.
Okay, those people are fools.
Okay. But then there's people who are like us, that are like, we buy them, we collect them, we store them, and then maybe when we
cherish our precious.
Yes. So another thing is with social media, with all this bullshit and all this other stuff that we have going on, where, if you really wanted to read comics, you could do it without having to pay any money. Like, if you really wanted to look it up You could. Here's the deal. If you're good enough to go out to a comic book store and buy a number 1, we want that to mean something.
Yes, and I get that.
And if we buy the first printing the day it comes out and we take a chance on it, we should be rewarded because the next time you go to the comic book store, there's no more number 1 first printings left
and I
anymore.
get that, but the run needs to be more than 5 comics, which I know I'm exaggerating
it's probably 10,000.
I don't think that's probably a 10,000.
I would. I don't know.
We can check.
I mean, they don't really tell you, but like I would almost guarantee you that DC made 250,000 copies of Batman number 80. They probably only printed 10,000 copies of number 1 of that.
I'm trying to find the online service I use to read Faithless number 5.
Hoopla?
No.
It's on there.
Yeah,
Most of the Faithless are on there.
I will need to find that because I found a very, very inferior series that it was like about 4 minutes to load each page because there were so many ads and it was god awful.
Yeah. Anyway, so did you've talked about Boom and their runs. What did you actually think about the book?
Oh, I thought it was good. I thought it was real good. I'm excited to read more of it. I just feel like maybe I'm an old-fashioned man where, Batman The Dark Knight Returns, having a number 1 of that meant something. And I guess having a number 1 of this means something. But I feel like they are putting out smaller runs to say, hey, I'm in the 7th printing of this. And that should mean something more than I've put out 150 copies.
So what you're saying is they're arbitrarily trumping up their
correct.
Their
You're
hype. They're
creating hype
because of a 7th printing, where that's only the 70,000th copy.
Correct.
Instead of it being where I get it though too, because like if you're taking a chance on a book, like I don't know if this book's gonna fucking sell.
No,
I'm not gonna make 500,000 of these.
That's what Kickstarter's for.
Yeah. Talk to Boom. Tell them. Hey, don't make.
Yeah, I'll just pick up the phone. Hey guys.
Just saying.
I got a direct line to the Boom headquarters.
No, I'm just saying, like,
and it's not like. Please don't misunderstand. It's not that I don't like either one of those books. I think they're both really good.
Yeah.
I just feel like we've trumped up more hype around it than what it is. Because it's a solid book. Is it a 4th printing book? I'll let you read it and decide.
Yeah. But I don't think Once and Future is a 7th printing book. I don't even know that Venom 1's a 4th printing book. Because I think Venom 3 is more important than Venom 1.
Yeah.
So.
But when you look at the numbers of what is being put out there, I feel like you'll see the disparity.
No, I'm sure that there's not 100,000 copies of this book out there.
No.
But I would guarantee you that Batman 80 has more than 100,000 copies out there. But the thing is these don't have to follow a specific set of rules. Whereas if you're writing for DC or Marvel, it's got to be a big book. It can't be where children get murdered in the forest.
Right.
But maybe, and I do think it. I think it skews more of what you're saying. I mean, Boom Comics is not a large comic. They're not going to print 100,000 of a first printing and then have it sit there and get to eat that money.
For sure.
But if it goes to a second printing, that may be your sign that, hey, there's something with this. Let's amp it up.
Right.
And instead of having to do a 3rd and a 4th,
because
if it reaches the 2nd point, let's go ahead and bump it up.
By the time we heard about this book, it was in a 4th printing.
Yes, and the 4th printing was already hard to find.
Yeah. You're still waiting for copies.
Yeah.
I happened to snag one when we were out looking for comics.
I think number 2 comes out next week. I think.
Yeah, and I get.
And if you're able to have chambered a 4th printing, by the time number 2 comes out,
the thing is,
I feel like it's a strategy.
The thing is it costs like $10,000 to make a comic. It doesn't cost $10,000 to print a new cover on a comic.
Yeah.
So
I mean, once you already have it set,
then it's really easy just to change the
Just
cover and print
done.
more. So why you can't? So like, if you want to do a 10,000 initial run, fine, that's fine. Your business, you do what you want to do.
Right.
But if the demand is,
that high,
I want 60,000 copies, our second printing is going to be 10,000 more. Then our third printing is going to be 10,000 more. It's like, why couldn't your second printing be 40,000 or 50,000 copies?
because I do believe it's a deliberate strategy, whether it's by the, and I'm not trying to dog on Boom, trust and believe.
Well, it's, yeah.
Whether it's the creative team or whether it's a publisher, I think there's a deliberate strategy.
I will almost
to
guarantee
get some
you it's
hype.
not the creative team. I cannot imagine a world where Tinny and the Fourth is going into Boom Comics and like, guys, I'm not going to let you sell this book
I'm not
unless
saying
you
I'm
do
not saying him
10,000
specifically,
runs.
but I have heard tell of specific instances where it is to drum up. Oh, wow! Look at this person. They've went into a 7th printing with their indie book. We should sign them on for a big book.
Yeah, I guess, but
I mean, it's just selling yourself.
yeah, I think you should let the book sell itself instead
Yep.
of you trying to sell it.
100%.
So, okay. So we talked about Dead Eyes for a little bit. That's simply just a reprinting of Dead Rabbits because there was what do we want to call
Bar
that?
and-
What do we want to call that? A legal snafu.
Mm-hmm.
But so the second one is going to come out, and that's going to be the same thing. And then third Dead Eyes is going to be the
New content.
new content. So we have that to look forward to. So what do we think about this? Because I haven't drank a whole bunch of it,
It's delightful.
besides it being alcoholic tang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you guys would enjoy that.
Oh, yeah, it's very good. Very good. All right. So it's really hard to beat that 30th anniversary
Yeah,
Boulevard.
it's-
So I don't even think that we need to necessarily take a vote.
Well, it's the anniversary issue, so
Yeah.
you got to go with the anniversary beer, right?
I think that's why we did it, right?
I think so.
But, 2 years is a long time. And I know I've had fun, so.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, if nothing else, I like turning new listeners on to comics. I mean, just as a whole.
And old comic book
Yeah.
people onto new comics, too. Because, there's some people that we've met that are like, yeah, I like the old comics from the 80s. Well, have you read this new? I don't read new comics. Why don't you try this out? So it's always a good feeling.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good excuse for us to get together and try new beers and
Yeah.
discuss
Absolutely.
theories because
Yeah, and I think
Wait,
one of the things that is we've really done, especially with the House and Powers series, is it's been good to get together and speculate.
Yes.
It's like none of us know what's happening. Like none of us know for sure, but we all have theories and like I said here in Theorycraft and
yeah. Well, even on White Trees, we all had 3 distinctly different takes on what that book
Yeah.
meant.
yeah.
And I think all 3
Which is
are
kind of
are
shocking
valid
too,
and
because
pretty awesome.
Because normally, like you and I specifically have the same general tendencies, So it was really funny that you guys were like, "Well, I think he's alive," and you're like, "I think he's dead in heaven," and I'm like, "Man, I think he was just fucking snoozing on the porch on a Sunday
I'm
afternoon."
gonna have to go back and look at issue number 1 and see are there any clues as to what
Dude,
really
that would be crazy.
is happening with him.
But just crazy in 2 issues, you can pack that
Yeah.
much content
Yeah.
in.
Well, like I was saying, it's because he's using those tricks of he's building sustenance to the character without actually telling you anything.
Yeah.
Which is really smart. Which is what makes Zdarsky a good author, writer, whatever you want to say. But yeah, so
The ultimate fan experience.
anyway, well, that'll wrap it up about for this issue. The stuff will be in the description below and all that jazz. And
Happy anniversary.
thanks.
And the crowd goes mild.
You didn't get me anything.
Oh,
Did you forget?
I get you an Asian nose.
God damn it. I was really hoping for asshole Jolly Ranchers.
Those were a couple episodes ago.
I got you a panda with a shotgun.
Nice. Eric wins.
Rusty Cage.
No. Sheriff's badge maybe, but
Wow.
anyway. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this issue of Pornographic, everybody. We'll talk to you next time. Hashtag break free.